Coming up on Hoosier Sports Night, Indiana football looked to get back on the winning track as they hosted Rutgers for homecoming.
And men's soccer was vying for a big win in the Big Ten on Sunday. Stick around and we'll tell you how it turns out, plus more, coming up. This is Hoosier Sports Night. Hello and welcome into the show. I'm Jackson Kenny alongside everyone's favorite Yankees fan, Stephen Walker.
Yeah, a couple rough games 2 and 3, looking to get back on track. But this is the prime time of sports right here. We got NBA just about to start. NHL's underway. Got NFL football and college football in full swing. I mean, this is the prime time for sports right here.
And we want to talk about some college football a little bit. It's the big deal right now.
We do. I mean, got some hot teams out there. But, one team that's starting to get hot is right here on campus, the Indiana Hoosiers. And this past Saturday, they hosted Rutgers Scarlet Knights in search of their first homecoming win in almost a decade. I was there for the action alongside my partner, Drew Fry, who tells us more.
The Indiana Hoosiers came out victorious in their homecoming game for the first time since 2010 with a dominating 35-point shutout of Rutgers. The Hoosier defense jumped all over the Scarlet Knights right off the bat. On the very first play of the game, Raekwon Jones recovered a fumble and ran it all the way to the house for a touchdown. Not to mention, the Indiana defense held the Rutgers quarterback to 1 passing yard on the day. The Hoosiers took a 21-point lead in the first quarter alone, and a career day from Whop Phillier was too much for the Rutgers defense to handle.
I'm not really ever surprised with Whop. He's a special player, and he just brings so much energy, and he doesn't need a lot of space, and he can, he makes those contested catches, he creates a little separation, and then he puts his foot in the ground and gets vertical.
Stevie Scott also broke through for his best rushing game of the season, which provides a good sign for a Hoosier team desperate to establish themselves in the Big Ten.
To be where we're at right now, because of so much youth on our team, there's no question I feel good about where we are and where we're headed. And we got to keep getting better.
Indiana will now look to pick up their first conference road win of the season with matchups at Maryland and Nebraska in the next coming weeks. This is Drew Fry with IUS TV Sports.
The team will start a 2-game road stretch on Saturday in College Park, where they'll take on a struggling Maryland team. That game will be a 3:30 kickoff. You can catch the action on BTN.
On Sunday night, the Hoosiers took to the pitch looking to grab an important conference win and defend home field against the Michigan Wolverines.
The Michigan Wolverines came to town last weekend seeking their first victory at Armstrong Stadium since 2012. But it wouldn't be easy against a Hoosier squad that hasn't lost a game in nearly 3 weeks. It was a defensive battle from the start as the number 4 ranked Hoosiers struggled to get anything going offensively in the first half.
First half was a little stale. I thought we could have been a little sharper. Give Michigan credit. They're a tough team to play. The press was good. They didn't get us much rhythm. The conditions were harder today than I thought with the wind and the sun. I told Spencer I thought I told him who won the toss. He said we did. We're already up 1-0. It's a good job.
The sun, wind, and Michigan's stellar defense were all tough obstacles for the Hoosiers to overcome in the first half and went into the break trailing Michigan 4-5 in shots. After 4 consecutive scoreless halves going back to the Penn State match, Indiana finally found the back of the net in the 67th minute. Redshirt junior Spencer Glass netted his 2nd goal of the season with a beautiful left foot strike that ended up being the difference maker in the match.
Thomas Moore made a good run, exactly where I would want it, but the 2 defenders kind of blocked it early, and normally you kind of want to hit that and kind of set up an awkward cross for an own goal maybe, but they blocked that pretty nice. But I saw their goalie kind of take it 1 step left, and normally you kind of either got to put it bottom right or top left, and saw top left, and luckily I was fortunate enough to put it there.
Goalkeeper Roman Celentano started his 3rd Big Ten match this season and is the first freshman keeper to record consecutive clean sheets since Trey Muse in 2017.
He's courageous. We told him, Michigan put a lot of balls in the frame, if you will, and there was a lot of balls as the game went on. They were putting, in our 12, if you will, and he's got range. I mean, he's long, he's got good timing, So we said, yeah, I feel confident to go make plays, and he did. He thought he made some great ones.
Freshman goalkeeper Roman Celentano recorded his second straight shutout on Sunday afternoon as the Hoosiers took down the Michigan Wolverines 1-0. IU improves to 4-0 in Big Ten Conference play and 8-1-3 overall on the season. Now looking ahead, the Hoosiers will be back in action next Friday to face off against Maryland. Reporting for IUS TV Sports, I'm Maya Engel.
Thank you, Maya. The Hoosiers look to continue their winning ways when they visit the number 25 ranked Maryland Terrapins on Friday.
As the women's soccer team's season nears a conclusion, the Hoosiers are fighting for a spot in the top 8 of the Big Ten to qualify for the Big Ten tournament. IU took a step in the right direction last weekend with a hard-fought 1-0 loss to powerhouse Penn State and a 1-0 victory over Ohio State. Griffin Epstein takes a closer look at the team.
A growing level of confidence for Indiana women's soccer. Under first-year head coach Erwin van Bennekom, the Hoosiers have developed a tenacious style of play that is creating headaches for Big Ten opponents. Indiana's 1-0 victory over a strong Ohio State team truly revealed how far the IU defense has developed, especially with their physicality.
We have to fight, we have to battle, we have to get stuck in, and they're doing it. You know, they feel, you know, it's not something we can ask. It's something they feel necessary to win games.
On Thursday night, IU could not find the finishing touch in their 1-0 loss to Penn State. However, Elena Kalin came through for IU on Sunday with the game winner in the 10th minute, the Hoosiers' earliest goal of the season. For Indiana, their confident mentality was the difference between a tight loss and a tight victory.
Everyone always tells us we can be as offensive as we want. In the previous games, we've played more defensive because we've had to stay tight and compact in the box because there is good attacking forwards who we've played, and I think we've just had the confidence to go forward more.
With Sunday's shutout over the Buckeyes, IU recorded its 7th shutout of the year. There is no doubt that's in large part to junior goalkeeper Bethany Kopel.
And tonight, she made a couple of really good saves. Proud of her and proud of, obviously that Nebraska game where she gave the ball away. I think how she recovered from that, from a mental standpoint, is pretty good.
With a flourishing goalkeeper and an organized and physical defense, IU is proving hard to beat down the Big Ten stretch. With 4 games left in conference play, Indiana sits at 4-4-1 in a tie for 6th place in the Big Ten. For IUS TV Sports, I'm Griffin Epstein.
Indiana travels to Rutgers on Sunday for a 1 o'clock game on BTN+.
When Hoosier Sports Night continues, we'll tell you about the recent road trip for the Hoosier volleyball team.
And we fill you in on the latest with IU field hockey. You're watching Hoosier Sports Night.
The volleyball team found themselves in Maryland looking to stop a 2-game losing skid, but Maryland had other ideas. The Hoosiers suffered another conference loss on Wednesday after battling it out for 5 sets. Indiana looked promising in the beginning, taking down Maryland in the first 2 sets, and then they fell in the next 2, but not by much. The loss negatively adds to the Hoosiers' 1-6 conference record, although Deja Lofton moved into the 8th spot on the Hoosiers' all-time list for career blocks. Up next for the volleyball team is a matchup against Big Ten rival Iowa in Iowa City on Sunday as the Hoosiers look to put a halt to their losing streak.
In yet another IU versus Maryland matchup, IU went to College Park to face the number 2 team in America in field hockey. Indiana struggled from the beginning on both the offensive and defensive sides of the ball, allowing Maryland to score a total of 6 goals while not being able to accumulate any for themselves. Both Linda Cabano and Maeve Clune were able to come up with 2 goals apiece for the Terrapins, while Bibi Donrat and Lizzie DeZoye each added another. It wasn't all bad for the Hoosiers as backup goalkeeper Shelby Query had 11 total saves. Haley Couch led the Cream and Crimson with 3 shots on goal, but was unable to capitalize on any of them. The team's final home game of the season takes place on Friday when they face Iowa at 3 o'clock.
Earlier this week, the men's golf team were trying not to get blown off the course while on the course. The team wrapped up play at the Crooked Stick Invitational on Tuesday, where they battled windy conditions with gusts up to 25 miles per hour, but they still managed to finish in 8th place out of 14 teams. Senior Brock Oxenrider shot a 7-over, 223 and finished tied for 21st. The Hoosiers teed up for the final time this fall beginning on October 26th at the Steelwood Collegiate Invitational in Loxley, Alabama. After the tournament in Alabama, the next time the Hoosier men will take to the course will be in early February at the Big Ten Match Play Championship down in Florida.
Well, that does it for our show this week, but don't forget to like our page IUS TV Sports on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at IUS TV Sports. And we got to give a big shout out to the production crew right behind us. They are just fantastic.
Right, and I want to give a shout out to the members of our production crew who are Washington Nationals fans going to the World Series. That's a big deal for them.
That is. I'm hoping my Yankees can join them here if they can get a couple more wins. But there you have it. I'm Stephen Walker alongside Jackson Kinney, and we'll see you next week.
You